We're not the Quad City Sports Talk Radio Show. We are your Quad City Sports Talk Radio Show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the Dawn. Good evening. Good afternoon, Quad Cities. That's a good start.
It's dark outside a little bit.
Yeah, you're listening to Don't Hassle for Local here on ESPN 1170 AM, ESPN 104.1 FM, ESPN Quad Cities, if you will. Adrian's in the studio with me in the Hassle Castle. We're live here on Tuesday, December 7th, a day that will even live in infamy, as we all remember. 60 years ago today, Pearl Harbor. Yeah. It's what propelled us into the war. Can you imagine if we had social media back then?
Oh my God!
If we had social media just in, I mean, I already do have problems with this, but how people would be talking before we even declared war, how it was an inside job, how the government knew it.
Conspiracy theories all over the place.
TikToks would be all over the place already.
Well, look at this. This shit blew up here, but it didn't blow up here.
Yeah. Meanwhile, yeah. If we had social media. But we didn't have it back then. But yes, the day lived infamy went on the World War II. Defended our world champion belt. Now we're back-to-back world champs. Still are.
Yeah.
Undefeated. God bless America. Love you. Love it or leave it, right?
Love it or leave it.
There you go. Yeah, last night, before we went off the air, we both were like Bills.
Yeah.
Come to find out, we both went Patriots.
Yeah. Had to a little bit after the weather. I didn't realize it, like I said right away, I didn't realize it was going to be that bad. The wind was just crazy, and that snow that was coming down before the game.
Yeah. Wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour in Buffalo.
Even Mother Nature gives Bill Belichick some love and wants him to win.
That's right. How dumb are the Bills? I think my favorite is Chip, and my brother, he's a Patriots fan, but he goes, at the 2-minute mark in the third quarter, you can see that McDermott just figured out he's playing checkers. Meaning, the whole, everyone plays checkers and he's playing chess. NFL plans, Belichick laughs. That type of thing. Come on. I mean, seriously. On top of it, there was a stat that was brought up on CBS Sports yesterday, and then they just hammered today. When the Bills have lost every game when they've given up over 147 yards rushing. So there's your key.
Yeah.
And I don't care about it had nothing to do with about the weather. The key is if they've lost every game and they've given up 147 yards each time.
Here's your sign.
Yeah.
This is what you got to do. You got to stop the run.
They attempted 3 passes. The Patriots did. They won 14-10. They covered the 3-point spread. 3 passes.
How many times did you say during that game? I don't know how much that game you watched. But every time I thought I was like, oh, they've got to throw it here.
Yeah. It's set up here.
Okay. I didn't see that coming. Okay, the next one. You got to throw it here.
It was something ridiculous. Like they averaged 4.8 yards per carry. The Patriots did. And
I feel like that's how the Hawkeyes want to play right there. They only throw like 3 passes, run the ball.
I'll piggyback on that statement, okay? Because I don't know if you're on Twitter.
I'm not.
I feel like you're not. Okay. Cody Hills, friend of the show. He actually lives down in Florida. He covers sports down there, but he's an Iowa guy, and he made one of the most incredible threads. And I'm going to go off the topic of Monday Night Football real quick, and I'm going to actually read his thread because it needs to be pointed out. And so this is a Cody Hills on Twitter. So if you have Twitter, it's @byCodyHills. And this is how it starts. You're going to be blown away by this. As I sat inside Lucas Oil Stadium, I started to feel that I noticed a trend in Iowa's offensive play calling tendencies. Decided today to take some time to research. And folks, did I stumble across something? Come along for a ride. So this is the thread. We all want variety in play calling. I think that's a shared desire among every fan of every team. Iowa tries to vary itself. It tries to break a, quote-unquote, they want to establish the run on first down tendency that's stuck through Ferentz's tenure and it's worked a ton, but they try. Iowa has thrown the ball 127 times in first down. More than second, which is 123. More than third, 118, and 6 times on fourth down. And they're good there. They're trying to keep opponents guessing, but don't have the numbers in front of me that I'd like to do more research, but I guess 70% of 127 are play action, so that's what he's speculating. So they're keeping him guessing by making it look like a run. But it's what happens when Iowa doesn't succeed in throwing the ball on first down. That's when the wheels fall off. And defenses know before the ball is even snapped more often than not that the wheels are coming loose. Iowa is 66 of 127 passing on first downs this year. Of those 61 incompletions, they've ran the ball 52 times on second down. So roughly 80% of the time after getting nothing on first down pass, Iowa's coming back with a run on second down. In theory, yes, if you're not getting anything, you want to get hopefully 3 to 5 yards on second down to make third more manageable. But 87% is a big tendency. It's sun in your eyes level of glaring, and it's a tendency that's only gotten worse as the year's gone on. In the first 6 games, Iowa was about 70% on run second down after an incomplete pass on first down. In its last 7 games, which include play from behind, heavy throwing losses to Purdue, Wisconsin, Michigan, Iowa is running on second down after incompletions almost 92% of the time. So he gets it. He gets someone's going to go, okay then, well, Mr. Football Coach Twitter wannabe guy, how does Iowa fix this? He said, well, thankfully, a bowl prep period allows for 1, a chance to install new wrinkles, basically create your own new tendencies, and 2, gives your opponent time to overthink that you will break the tendencies. That's insane.
Yeah, that's
just basically saying they're going to pass on first down. We know that, and we'll readjust if hopefully they only get like 3 yards. But to know it 82% of the time, 87, 82, whatever, 92, I don't care. To automatically be like, well, now it's a run.
Yeah, all those.
Yeah, now we just know it's going to run. So then that's how they can stop it. You can't be that. I mean, I guarantee you, these schools they have these nerds that are doing this stuff for them.
This isn't the first person that's put these numbers together. It's just the first.
Yeah, no, I mean, every single one of them each week. They're not traveling with the team. They're already putting together all the games that they've done for those schools up to that week, and then they're just adding that Saturday in prep for next week.
Yep.
So by the time if they're traveling somewhere, even if they're at home, by the home game, by the time Saturday night comes, the coaches already have the statistical tendencies. That's awful.
Yeah,
like we can't.
It's way too one-sided.
Yeah, you can't.
I'm shocked we won 10 games by doing that.
Can you?
Does that say more about us, or like more about how we still won 10 games in the Big Ten and this?
Well, they mixed it.
They
kind of. He kind of says they mixed it up a little bit the first 6 games, but it's the last 7 where it's the worst.
Was it because we needed to keep the ball out of the miscues of Petrus
I
and
think.
Batia?
Honestly, I think it's a matter of they can't figure it out, and they figured it out. I don't know how they knew we were going to do it. I don't know. It's like playing Tecmo Bowl for the first time. You've got a 1 in 4 shot of guessing the play, and if you're playing against somebody like a 9-year-old, you kind of get their tendencies real fast to guess the play.
Sounds like you played a couple 9-year-olds in some video games.
Well, I feel like. I mean, I know I have, but I mean that's the way. I guess what I'm trying to get at, right? I don't care if it's a 15-year-old. Mm-hmm. You can kind of get their tendencies, what they're gonna do. That's the way Brian's calling the plays. Like he's a 15-year-old playing Madden against some guy who's a professional almost, semi-professional, or a kid that's is like calling the plays like someone who's been on rookie level the entire time when someone's playing Heisman mode and whatever else. I don't know. Like, that's the thing. But how does McDermott not figure that out? Oh no, was he doing the same thing? No, now they're passing.
It was just I don't think he was. I just think that they just couldn't stop him. At moments it didn't look like anybody wanted to get through the line. Where's the game won? At the line of scrimmage. It didn't look like anybody wanted to get into that backfield and stop the run. They knew it was coming over and over again.
Yeah.
Would they end up with 222 or something like that? Or 200 or 220?
I believe it was 222, and I have it here. And then if good for you if you bet player props and you bet the over for Harris and Stevenson. It was 222 rushing yards, 111 by Damian Harris, including a 64-yard that was the opening score. And Ramondre Stevenson added 78. Mac Jones attempted 3 passes. Cool. It's the fewest passes by any team since 1974. And it's the first smile that Belichick had since 1974, too. He actually smiled.
He was happy.
Yeah, so that's the first smile we've seen.
I can't believe I won this one.
Yeah. Boy. I mean, it's almost like I was listening to the CBS Sports podcast this morning, and then I think they just kind of I think they'd like to go on there, we're going to piss all over Twitter type of thing. Uh-huh. And they're like, oh, everyone out there who hated this game, and they're like, no, that was people on Twitter. I didn't hate the game. It was almost like an awe. Like, come on, is this really happening?
Yeah.
And the Bills are just going to be like, what? And McDermott's just going to yell at the referees all the time? That was his game plan? I'm just going to yell at him? What was the play call? Chip pointed it out. Oh, it was a delay a game call. It was clearly delay a game. And McDermott is yelling at the referee, won't stop, and he says, that is the worst effing call I've ever seen. You could read his lips. A delay of game call is the worst call, McDermott, you've ever seen? You haven't even sat, like you're on bye week and with your buddies, or I'm probably not because you're not with your buddies. You haven't watched a high school game or you scouted kids in college or whatever else and haven't seen a worse call, but a delay a game call, you're going to tell the referee that's the worst.
What quarter was this in?
That had to be in the second.
No,
yeah, it was in the second, yeah.
I missed that one.
Yeah. And they went in the snap. They went through it, and it clearly was. Like, it just seemed like that was his deal. Like, I'm just going to yell at the referees all day long.
Well, did you see how the two defensive guys, was it Micah Hyde, and I'm not sure the other guy's name, they left the press conference afterwards?
No.
Because they felt like they got disrespected by a question when one of the reporters asked him, are you embarrassed on how the run defense, how bad the run defense was? And they, took offense to that. And they're like, we lost the game 14-13. Or
14-10.
14-10.
Yeah.
He's like, how can we be embarrassed about anything we did? And
you gave up 222 yards rushing.
222 yards.
If the number now is if everyone shoots for 150, because if they can get to 150, they're going to win. So they're going to run it down your throats. If that's pointed out, again, do we have too many shows of talking heads and just be like, oh, this and that? But if someone can just find a stat and then they can point it out, what's the answer to that? If you're the Bills, nuh-uh.
Yeah, right.
I get it. Week one, they lost.
Proven.
Yeah, they lost at home to the Steelers. And they're like, it's a long season. We're okay. And I was like, wait, do the Bills have it? Back then, I was like, do the Bills have the right to do the Aaron Rodgers relax? And then they came out and they looked good for a while. Mm-hmm. But then it was after the Jacksonville game when I was like, oh, let me take a look at the Bills' schedule.
They just look soft.
They're fake.
Yeah. It's not there.
And this was a big one for them because now the Patriots don't have to. It doesn't even matter now if they lose the game to the Bills.
What, they're on a bye next week.
They're
right?
on a bye next
week,
week,
and then 2 weeks. Then they go back to the Bills, right?
Yeah.
All right.
But even that, they have a better conference record. They're still sitting at number 1 in the division.
Also, how many times does Bill Belichick lose off a bye week?
He not often.
It can't be. I wish I had that stat.
It's at Indianapolis. There's no love lost there, so he's going to remember that BS. And little did I forgot about how Buffalo last year went in and lit up New England, and that's the type of thing that Belichick doesn't forget.
Yeah. Who was the quarterback then? Because it wasn't Cam anymore, was it? Did Cam come out the second half of the year? Stidham?
Wasn't Stidham. I feel like it would have been, but I can't remember. I forget.
Yeah.
But, but the Bills embarrassed them last year. So I'm not too shocked by that he decided that he was going to find some way to stick it to him using Mother Nature or whatever else. But it's just, well, that's our plan wasn't to. We just decided to stick with our game plan. And how is that disrespectful? You lost. But I did see the second half at home, so I got to have volume on.
Did you watch the Manicast?
I turned the Manicast on.
Did you turn the Manicast on?
I did not. Let me.
Some guy at the poker game last night said it's better when you have 5 beers in you. This is what Manicast is better when you have 5
It really depends on how much if you hate Joe Buck or not.
Yeah.
And I'm indifferent. I thought he was great.
Okay.
I didn't hear the David Letterman, and I barely had. I was off. I was like just kind of moving around when Aqib Talib was on. Joe Buck was great, going back and forth with Eli. Peyton was Peyton got all upset. There was a 2-minute warning left, and then there was an injury, and in between the two, Peyton was talking about the 2-minute warning and the commercials and how the commercials annoy him. So he's like, Joe, does that ever bother you when you're talking and you get these commercials? He goes, because I tell you what, David Letterman's in the middle of a joke and I have to tell him we break for commercial. I don't like it. Fair point, Peyton. You know what Joe Buck comes back with?
What?
I'm sitting in my place in Cabo right now, Peyton. So every time I have to announce one of those breaks, my wallet gets a little bit fatter. So I'm okay with those. Good job, Joe.
I'm okay with those.
So they come back and he goes. Then they come back from the 2-minute thing or whatever. It's right after. So it's right after 2 minute. Peyton says that. Joe says it, and he goes. And he's like, "Injury down. Who is it?" And he was a Patriot player, safety, and Phillips, I believe his name was. And Peyton out of nowhere goes, "Yeah, well, we're gonna take another break." And Joe goes, "Congratulations, Peyton." Just can hear that ka-ching going right now, and you can hear him laughing going out the air. So good for Joe. And then there was another one. So Josh Allen throws a ball. It's over his back. It's to Diggs. It's over his back shoulder. Peyton has a reaction like, oh, you know. And he's like, oh, he got the ball over his back shoulder. Got to get a hand on it. This and that. I mean, he has a real reaction. And Joe stops and he's like, Peyton, you got money on this game or what? And he's like, no, Joe, I just put the ball there. And he's like, oh, and then what was the other thing? Missed ball like that, all right? So then Peyton Manning starts breaking it down. He's like, those missed opportunities, those end zone opportunities that are missed, because I think it was on third down. He's like, those are killers. Missed touchdowns are killers. And he goes, at the end of the year, I would always watch the film of all our missed touchdowns to see what happened. And Joe says, oh, I bet you that was just riveting television to watch. He goes, what, do you gather the kids around for that? Hey, kids, come here, see your old man. And then he goes, hey, where are you going? Come back here. And he's like, well, then you got to, he goes, no, then you got to, watch all the fourth downs you miss and everything else. So, yeah, Joe was good about trading barbs with him. Again, some people just really can't stand him. I'm fine with him.
I've never understood the hatred for Joe Buck.
Everybody thinks he's against their team.
Yeah.
Everybody. And I think it was when I listened to a couple podcasts that he was on as a guest. And he's like, yeah, it happens everywhere. He's like, yeah, everyone in the country says I'm a St. Louis homer, and then if I go to St. Louis, everyone tells me how I never give them any love. So he said he's been chased down a street in Boston by fans. Knows that no one in Chicago likes him.
Nobody.
Yeah. It's funny, when he told the story on Bill Simmons' podcast about the station down the street, Bill was like, what street? And he's like, well, I know the street. And he's like, I stopped this little bar, and Bill names the bar. And he's like, yeah, that's the bar I ducked into to get away from these guys. So, yeah, I guess, again, I don't have a problem. There's some things that he calls, and I'm just like, and it's really just the dry stuff that it's just like, it was just like, if he runs hard and runs fast, it'll be a touchdown. It is. It's just like that quick and easy. I'd rather see him go back and forth with the Manning cast.
If he hits the ball out of the park, he's going to get a home run.
If the ball's hit very hard and it goes over the fence, a home run, it is. Home run Dodgers. And everyone's like, oh, he's cheering for the Dodgers now. He doesn't really show too much emotion.
He loves Aaron Rodgers.
He does love Aaron Rodgers.
Loves Aaron Rodgers.
Like I said, he caught himself that one time. People say I gush over Aaron Rodgers. Here's why. I'm like so happy he caught himself. But no, I thought it was an interesting game. It showed a lot about coaching, how you can go in with the game plan, and then the only change that Buffalo really made was they had a muff punt because of the wind. That's how it set up Patriots score. And near the end of the first half, Patriots let the clock go down to like 7 seconds left, kicking a field goal. And I'm like, what are they doing? They called timeout. The clock could have run out. And they're playing for them to try to go for that ball. And you can see McDermott beforehand. He's like, yells the guy's name, and he's like, before it even happened, they're like, oh, there's no way he's returning this.
Yeah.
Like that's the end of the half. So you do have to make some adjustments. If you walk out there and you see the kicking game, and it's 50, 60 mile an hour winds, you have to go, yeah, we're not kicking a field goal.
Yeah.
Or we're not even kicking a 35-yard extra point. That's why they went for 2, and they got it 8-0. So.
And what they say, that was like the Bills kicker's shortest miss in his entire career.
Yeah, he missed. Yeah,
he missed one field goal. It was like 31 yards. It was his shortest miss of his entire career.
Probably makes sense. But so week 13's in the books, and we get a look at the power rankings and kind of see there are so many spots that are up for grabs right now. The Bengals are a higher seed than the Bills right now, if you look at it. But we're going to look at that and much more, and kind of look at some gambling lines for tonight. Only 4 NBA games to look at.
Yeah.
So, and we got to look at the Heisman Trophy finalists who were announced. But we'll do that more when we come back. ESPN 1170 AM, ESPN 104.1, ESPN Quad Cities.
I've been earning and burning, snapping necks and cashing.
You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
Hi, this is Derek.
And this is Skip.
We are the twins from Arbar Davenport. And you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
On ESPN 1170 AM.
Is a college degree the only thing standing in your way of a great job promotion or the career of your dreams? Then it's time to make that New Year's resolution and give yourself the gift of a high-quality education from Upper Iowa University. At UIU, you get an exceptional education, convenient evening and online classes, and the support you need to succeed. Our local staff has been welcoming students at our Quad City Center for 10 years. Classes begin January 10th. Visit uiu.edu/Quad Cities to learn more. Upper Iowa University, education built for life.
Get in on the action with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa is where the pros play. Enjoy the highest limits, lowest takeouts, and competitive betting menus. Download, fund, and bet from anywhere in Iowa. Circa Sports Iowa. Sports betting the way it should be. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com. Must be over 21 and present in Iowa to bet. Have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Mike Greenberg. Green.
So Baker Mayfield is a guy who came into this season with probably as much riding on the outcome as anybody. He's in the same draft class as Josh Allen, who's gotten paid, as Lamar Jackson, who is now setting himself up to get paid, like a Mahomesian kind of contract. And Baker is the guy for, I think, all of the right reasons, that there was some question. Do you pay him or do you not? And he bet on himself. And if he had a huge year, which he isn't, and if the Browns had a huge year, which they aren't, then he probably stood to make like $150 million. But now what's going to happen? So they've picked up his 5th-year option. This is his 4th year. So he's got one more year. Does he go the Kirk Cousins route? Like, does he try and position himself into a place where he becomes the franchise tag guy?
Greeny, 9 till 11 on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170.
Hi, this is Tate with Westmore Carriers. Are you a CDL team driver? If so, Westmore Carrier wants you. Right now, we are hiring CDL teams and paying each driver a $5,000 signing bonus. That's right, $5,000 for both team members. Plus, be home nights and weekends. Call me now at 309-644-2278. Westmore Carriers is looking for CDL team drivers now. Call now to get started, 309-644-2278. Online at westmorecarriers.com.
The People's Choice Awards, hosted by Keenan Thompson, is the only award show chosen by you, the people. So let Keenan hear you.
With nominees in every category.
TV,
movies,
music, pop culture,
and performances from your favorite artists.
Christina Aguilera,
Blake Shelton.
Some cool surprises.
Plus huge icon award winners.
Halle Berry,
Dwayne Johnson,
Kim Kardashian West,
and more.
Hosted by me, Keenan Thompson. The People's Choice Awards, live tonight on NBC and E! And the red carpet starts first, live from E!
Chris Canty and Mike Golick Jr.
I also need to know where my camera is because I do need a little bit of advice for a certain friend of ours here that we have seen. Because I enjoyed watching the New York Knicks. I enjoy what they have brought to the table on all this. Evan Fournier is a great addition for this team. We have seen him bring so much to all. I just have to invite my brother in arms here to come down the road I have been on. It's time to come on home. All right? I have been given this advice by people in my life that care enough about me to help. And so that's all I want for everyone else here. Tyler Lockett made that decision this offseason. Out here balling for the Seahawks now. Like, this too can be yours if the price is right. That's all I'm saying. Like,
So, Mike, what you're saying is his jumper ain't the only thing that's fading away.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying this. I want what's best for him. I want him to be able to go out here and thrive and look good in the process.
Canty and Golick Jr., 2 till 6 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't know the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-324-4522. 800-324-4522. Don't wait. Call now. 800-324-4522. 800-324-4522.
Get the latest NFL news on your phone. Download our app today and never miss a thing. From the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Back on the air. ESPN 1170 AM, ESPN 104.1, ESPN Quad Cities, if you will. Tuesday, December 7th, 12:27 in the afternoon.
21 days to my birthday.
Look at that. The 28th.
3 weeks.
Hmm?
I just realized that today.
3 weeks from today.
I woke up today and I saw it was one of my buddy's birthdays, and I know his is like 20 days before mine, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no way, that's got to be wrong. It's not December yet. Then I took my dog out.
That's the best part of the story. All right, we got ESPN 1170 AM. Who we got?
It's Tuesdays with Easer A's.
Hey, Tuesdays with Easer A's. What's up, pal?
Not much, Mr. Foster. Not much. And Adrian.
I see some of your comments on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread. And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about, Iowa, whatever else. But, yeah. What was the game? What did you think of the game last night?
I did not watch the game last night.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to call and talk about the Iowa game and the Iowa season in general.
Sure.
Okay.
So, if anybody paid attention to me Saturday night, I was ready to be not disappointed. I was ready for a bad game, because just knowing that who Iowa has at quarterback, and I just and it's neither breaking news. Neither one of them are any good. People got excited about Alex Padilla scoring 17 points against Northwestern, which I don't get. Alex Padilla was down double digits to Illinois and Nebraska. The offense scored 2 touchdowns in the last 3 games.
Playing possum.
Yeah, and they won 2 of those somehow. I think that if Kirk doesn't look in the mirror and realize that his style doesn't work, then maybe it's time to move on. I don't know. Like, I don't want to blame Brian for everything, because everybody wants to blame Brian. You ask me, Brian Ferentz calls an okay game between the 20s. He's very good from 20 to 20, provided they're not behind in the sticks. They get to anything beyond 2nd and 10, they're dead in the water. They showed that. They got a holding or that tripping penalty, right?
Mm-hmm.
That tripping call. Even Joel Klatt's like, well, Iowa's not going to do anything here because Brian Ferentz said he doesn't want to make any dumb mistakes when they're behind the sticks. It's like, well, okay. But I think this year's problem was definitely the red zone. I had looked it up Saturday night. They were 17 touchdowns on 41 visits to the red zone.
Okay, that's not good.
No, they only scored 75% of the time they get inside the red zone. And then now you add on 3 more times on Saturday night, so that's 17 for 44 for touchdowns. So what happens inside the 20? Well, I have a couple theories. You guys can add on to this. Number one, our best 2 receivers are 6 foot and 5'10", or however tall Keegan Johnson is. Arlen Bruce is not very tall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then Sam Laporta gets covered up in the red zone because the safeties are closer to him. In the middle of the field, gets clogged up inside the 20s. And then, with the offensive line, they can't run the ball. So, sure, they can hit the big plays, but if they didn't score, there was no touchdowns coming inside the 20.
Okay, so what you're saying with our receivers, you can't get the jump ball in there, or the
without Brandon. Is if you could bring any guy back from last year, would it be Brandon Smith to fix the things that are wrong with this team?
It's not a bad call.
To take this team from 10-3 to 11-1 to New Year's 6 to the Rose Bowl. I mean, is Brandon Smith the missing link? I mean, everybody else was great. The defense is amazing.
You still got to throw him the ball.
Yeah, well,
that's the thing. You still got to throw him the ball because if you watch the game, it's either Sam Laporta or Johnson on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
I could look that up and figure out the targets that the other ones had.
Yeah, Tyrone's transferring now today.
He is.
He announced. Yep, his name is in the portal, which it's fine.
That was coming for a while back, wasn't it his father who blasted him on Twitter?
Oh yeah, his whole family's been blasting him on Twitter, and then he's been saying stuff. I mean, he said something that he pulled back. He retweeted guys like in the NFL who would say like, why aren't you getting me the ball enough? He'd like retweet that. It's what it is. I mean, but I'm sorry, but like you can't play offense with 4 slot receivers. And Keegan Johnson's great, and he's going to only get better, but they don't have that tall, big body guy.
Well, it was yesterday that I said it, and I'll repeat it again. And I texted my buddies was, Laporta will be another tight end stud. Johnson's going to be a star. All the other receivers should just join the transfer portal because it's not looking like they're trying to get the ball to anybody else. I know you're going to say Arlen Bruce is just a true freshman or whatever else, but honestly, the targets that they have is just ridiculous, the lack of.
Is it just me, or does it seem like Arlen Bruce gets like 2 series a game, and then after that he's out of the offense? Like it was at Illinois.
Yeah.
Illinois, they threw him that pass that he caught on the sideline, and he got ran out of bounds, and then they ran the jet sweep that he scored the touchdown on. And then after that, he's done.
Yeah, I feel like, well, we got his name mentioned. Now we got to go on to do other things.
Yeah.
So, that's the thing that's frustrating. All right, let's see if we can do. I don't know. Do I have? Oh, I don't. I'd have to break down the stats more, targets, whatever else for everybody. I'd like to see that though for our receivers. I don't think it's very high.
It's not. They just, and well, not only that, there was no good routes. I mean, like I said, they're just. I mean, I guess Charlie got a few targets a game, but I don't know. The offense needs. I don't know if it needs a revamp. I mean, obviously, Kirk's not going to go air raid.
No.
But I mean, we can't. We're beating out Georgia for 2 straight quarterbacks, and apparently neither one of them are any good.
Yeah.
I mean, what the heck?
It's like Georgia's like, hey, we're really interested, so we decide to buy him or whatever else. It's like,
yeah.
The entire playbook needs to go out the window. It needs to be revamped completely.
Yeah. Is it?
You can't win Big Ten championships or any sort of college championships, and none of your wide receivers have 50 yards.
Yeah. You need to, and not only that, you need to recruit. We need to get these guys and keep them here and keep them happy. The fact that Amir and Brandon Smith made it 4 years is amazing, probably because they started as true freshmen. But Tracy and Reganey were better 2 and 3 years ago when they had those other two big guys on the outside, and now that they're all a bunch of little guys, they have nothing. And then the two quarterbacks, they play such a different game where Petrus, he rolls out on the bootleg, the one play action pass that they have in the playbook, that one bootleg where they bootleg to the right and they run 3 levels that we ran in junior high, waggle. I mean, everybody has that play.
Yeah.
Brian just calls it 7 times a game because it's the only pass play that works apparently. But Petrus only throws that ball to Laporta, and then when Padilla comes in, he only throws that ball to Keegan Johnson. He doesn't even look anywhere else. He threw in the Nebraska game. He threw into double coverage with Sam Laporta standing right in front of him. He threw the ball 15 yards over Laporta's head into double coverage at Keegan Johnson on the sideline. It's like, dude, you can't do that. Take the open throws. But where Petrus only throws that ball to Laporta, he doesn't even look past anybody.
That is exactly the way I play Madden, and I do not play Madden a lot. I already know where I'm throwing to. I look at the route. I'm like, yeah, I'm pressing
that's
B.
The guy.
I'm pressing B right there.
No matter
That's
what
the one.
happens.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I'm pressing the B button. It's the way it's going to work. It's not good.
But I don't know as fans what we can do to put. Obviously, we can't do anything to put pressure. I see people yell at Tom Kakert to ask the tough questions. It's like, well, what question do you want him to ask?
Oh, that stuff happens all the time, though. No matter what, the beat writers get just crapped on all the time.
Oh, it's all their fault.
Yeah, and they're all homers, which they're not. They're all just shills for the university, which they're not. Kakert's been on here multiple times where, even this season, where Adrian and I are like, yeah, whatever, I was still going to win. And he's been like, I don't think they're going to win this game. And we're like, whatever, Kaker, what do you know? But we do it in a joking way. We don't blast him on Twitter and be like, this Dumbo comes on the show and says Iowa can't win. He doesn't think they're going to win. Well, this guy doesn't know anything. And he does. He knows a lot more than we do.
He's not an Illinois fan. He's not an Illinois fan like Randazzo is.
That's true. That's right. And a Detroit Lions fan. So, but he's riding a wave now. Look out, Randazzo's hot. So
winning streak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, speaking of, did you watch the Iowa basketball game last night?
No. I kind of stayed away. Friday night I paid attention. I paid attention last Monday, but last night I didn't really pay attention. I don't even remember what I did last night. I'm in season 5 of How I Met Your Mother. That's what I did last night.
Yeah, I see your updates on the show. By the way, I've thought about this. How I Met Your Mother came on, 2008, 2007?
No, well, I'm in 2000. It's 2009. They're in season 5, so it had to be 2004.
2004. Okay. Does Barney get canceled in this culture now?
In today's day and age, I feel like it. Yes.
You think the writers, do they get away with that stuff?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I saw a thing on TikTok.
He does push that.
I saw a thing on TikTok, and it was like why Barney will never meet Ted's sister, and he does like all the Christmas cards postcards every year, and he comes up with carols about what he's gonna do to Ted's sister.
Yeah,
and I'm like, no way would this be allowed? No way. If they're going to get a baby, it's cold outside, gets that going, there is no way he gets away with it this day and age. That show gets it. It's impossible.
I listened to the Scrubs Rewatch podcast with Zach Braff and Donald Faison, and they talk about on there about how there's not a chance that the Todd would make it on network TV at all today.
Yeah,
with all of his stuff that he said.
All right, buddy, I gotta let you go. I gotta take a break. We got another phone call coming at 12:45. I appreciate you, Easer Hayes.
Yep.
Have a wonderful day. Yep. Talk to you soon. All right, that's Easer Hayes. That's great insight about the Iowa. I don't know what we can do, what's going to happen. We just got to hope there's a change and hope we have, it's been pointed out, Ferentz's era, Brad Banks just kind of fell into his lap. And other than that, we haven't had anyone who's been such electrifying as that.
It's a great time to revamp yourself. You got a month, prepare.
They always do.
Yeah.
In the bowl games, they always do.
This is where he wins the bowl game, and then everybody forgets about it.
They forget riding high, top 15, top 12. Yeah. Look at this. And I read off what the SIDs from the University of Iowa send me, and it all sounds wonderful. Like, last night, I was just third home game in 23 games. Third loss in 23 games, dating back to start last season. Like, that's supposed to be exciting for us, but, no one wants to point out that they had a 14-0 scoring run in the first half and led by 10 or more, a few times. But,
yeah.
But, all All right, we got to take a break. We'll be right back. We have a phone call from Jeff Bear out in Portland. He's going to talk to us about Boogie and King Richard when we come back.
We're good, streaky! Yeah! You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Josh Sides, head coach, St. Ambrose University Esports. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're
Hey,
Local.
do you have time to go to Vegas with me?
Time? Yes. Extra money to pay for the flights? No.
No, not Vegas. I'm talking about Vegas, right here in the Quad Cities.
I've never heard about Vegas. Tell me more.
Oh, they're safe and secure gaming cafes with 6 locations.
What kind of games do they have there? And they've got beer, right?
They have the latest games provided by Gem, and yes, beer.
Sounds like I'm gonna save on flights, have fun, and win big.
To find out more about their locations and hours they're open, visit VegasGamingCafeIL.com.
This ad furnished by Nesmith Taju LLC. Offer not valid in all states or prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
We should do what my brother did. He went to 79cash.com and got $3,000.
With our bad credit?
79cash.com is different. They're one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope. My brother said it was fast and easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan of up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account as soon as the next day. Our lenders have millions of dollars to lend regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to 79cash.com and we'll have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to 79cash.com. That's 79cash.com. 79cash.com.
Want to learn a new language so it will actually stick? Try Babbel. Practice real-life conversations in the Babbel app.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
Get personalized help in Babbel's live online classes.
Classes are limited to 6 people, so everyone can get the help they need.
Review words and phrases with fun games, or dive into the culture with short videos. Whatever your learning style, Babbel gives you the tools you need. Babbel, more ways to learn. Now try Babbel free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Don't put off that bathroom remodel you've always wanted. You can have that luxury design and comfort for a relaxing oasis in your home today. You need to call Midwest Bath. Do your holiday shopping with Midwest Bath and receive a $500 Visa gift card with the purchase of a tub or shower, plus 24 months, no interest, no payments for qualified buyers. Get your free estimate today to lock in the 2021 rates, plus a lifetime warranty. Only at Midwest Bath, your QC Reader's Choice Award winner for the best bathroom remodels in the industry. Call today or visit MidwestBath.com.
The next generation of ED wave therapy is now at Limitless Male. Limitless pulse-focused wave therapy has clinically proven results for men wanting to improve their relationships. ED can be caused by age, heart disease, diabetes, or medication, and it won't get better on its own. Our new non-surgical wave therapy can help stop and potentially reverse damage. Take the ED quiz at limitlessmale.com. Get help from the men's health experts.
I'm Omar Reese with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Monday Night Football, Patriots, Bills. It was cold, it was snowy, it was windy, and the Patriots leaned heavily on their ground game to the tune of 222 yards. Damian Harris scoring a 64-yard touchdown. Mac Jones attempted just 3 passes as the Patriots beat the Bills 14-10. New England, winners of 7 straight, now 6-0 on the road this season and in first place in the AFC. Elsewhere, the Ravens will be without Marlon Humphrey for the rest of the season. The Pro Bowl corner diagnosed with a pectoral tear. Humphrey, the 7th starter to be sidelined for the season for Baltimore, who cling to first place in the AFC North by 1 game. And Keenan Allen was placed on the reserve COVID list, putting his availability for Sunday's game versus the Giants in doubt. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Velvety paper feel, exquisite colors, stunning scale. At Staples, we sweat the details and quality of every print project
Stop by Staples and try our Print Big Promise. We're committed to getting your print job right, to treating your small business like a big deal, and guiding you from start to finish. Get 20% off signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more. Offer ends January 1st. Visit staples.com/services/printing for details. Staples, where small business prints big.
Is your prostate waking you up more often than your alarm clock? The fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function and reduced urinary urges for a better quality of life. Available at Walmart. Visit prostateoneperday.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's happening on the field and what's happening at your sports book. We've got you covered. This is the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Back on the air in the Hassle Castle. Adrian's with me. It's 12:45 in the afternoon. Waiting on a phone call from our man Jeff. Haven't talked to him. There he is. Look at that.
Right away.
Just when I say that, yeah. ESPN Quad Cities. Jeff, is that you?
This is me, Jay. How's it going?
Well, it's going well. It's going well. Adrian's in the Hassle Castle with me. We're excited to talk to you. It's been a few weeks since we talked to you. It was right after the Rocky IV extravaganza event. But
that's right. Our own personal extravaganza.
It was just so good. And then did you ever look into that Hoosiers thing?
I looked into it, and it does look like there is simply no way to see it now. Who knows when it's going to be? So you've simply just made me jealous that there's, what was it, half hour, 45 minutes?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So now I just sit and wait and wonder.
It just fills in some gaps in some of the stories where you're like, well, what just happened to this guy or whatever else? Why did he come back to the team, when one guy quits? So I guess it just fills in some of the gaps. And it makes Barbara Hershey's character not look like such a raging mean person. So,
that's good.
Yeah.
Because, she does kind of stand out in the film.
She really does.
It's like, whoa, what is your problem? Give us a backstory or something, please, that would fit all this rage.
Yeah. So we talked via text, and Apple Plus, I believe, is that the King Richard? Or is it?
No, HBO Max.
HBO Max is streaming King Richard, starring Will Smith, about Venus and Serena Williams' father. And then also, you brought up Boogie. And Adrian and I want to talk to you about that and a little bit more. Tell us about King Richard and Boogie.
So, King Richard, it follows the timeline of Richard Williams training his daughters, Venus and Serena, probably in the sense of when they are very good, but only he knows they're very good. That's kind of where the movie starts. They are very talented, but it is just he's the only one that has been training them and working with them, and works it up until Venus Williams is about to turn pro. So that's kind of the timeline that we're working on with the film. And it is, how do I say it? Ordinary.
Okay.
It is the kind of film that walks through the process of, Richard believed in this, and he was steadfast in his belief, and no matter what happened, he kept pushing forward. And you can see that he's kind of torn between these worlds where he knows, or at least he believes in this film, that he is a simple person, and he wants his daughters to be great. And he has analyzed the situation, and this is how he feels like they can be great. Very similar to that vibe of what Tiger Woods seemed to go through in his childhood.
Okay.
The difference here is he kind of does overthink it in the sense of he wants longevity for the girls. And it is great to see that. What's weird is we don't get an idea and a sense of who Venus and Serena are besides one note. And what you realize is everybody kind of just has one note in this, to where it feels like I probably could have learned more in a documentary, and I could have been entertained in a probably better way. It's fine. Will Smith is doing a good job, it feels like. It doesn't necessarily ring true as, this is talked about awards buzz, most definitely. But for the most part, it just kind of feels like, all right, yeah, that's what I assumed happened. I assumed the white people at the country clubs weren't thrilled to have Richard come and say, you got to see my daughters play tennis. And I also kind of assumed that the neighborhood that Richard was trying to escape was filled with problems as well. And that is how the movie comes about. John Berthal plays Rick Macy, one of the coaches. And he's kind of fun in the movie. He's got some good energy. But when you see the real-life Rick Macy, you're just like, oh, you could have even had worse 80s hair, and you could have gone overboard with it. And little things like that could have just helped it give it kind of just more energy, which in a film with sports, that's kind of the number one goal, is just like, let's get some energy going.
So basically, I mean, I understand what you're saying. The country club, the neighborhood, everything else. And I actually, just in conversation with people, I got the exact same vibe of, yeah, he just would just tell the tennis coaches, no, I'm doing it my way, and it's all going to work out.
And it is that thing where everything in the movie kind of does feel safe. Nothing feels like a twist or a shocking turn of events. And you would have wanted to kind of see that, because we do feel like we kind of know this story of Venus and Serena because of how famous they are and because of how special it is that they are sisters and they have all of these Grand Slam tournaments and everything else. So it was almost, I wasn't necessarily looking for like insider dirt. But it was just like authenticity didn't necessarily seem to be there, because the only thing we got with Serena Williams was, oh, I'm kind of getting left behind sometimes, and I want to be better than that. And it was just like, okay, that's what that teenage girl went through in this movie.
Acting-wise, how did Will do in this role?
You know, he kind of sort of loses himself in it, but it's the kind of performance that it doesn't offer a lot of range. So once he finds the character, he's just simply that character. And with Will Smith, he's used to his star power kind of pushing through the movie, and his charisma to push through the movie. And he's dampening those things to play this character a little bit. So it's that thing where you know he's doing a good job, but you still know it's Will Smith the whole time. So it feels, it doesn't feel like it's going to be an Oscar winner unless it's been decided, you know, kind of like, oh, this is Will Smith's time to win an Oscar, just like it's happened to every actor along the way when you realize that one doesn't have an Oscar yet, we got to get that guy an Oscar. So maybe that'll happen. It would be surprising for me.
Okay. Yeah, just sounds like the only thing, it's like lacking that overbearing father, great Santini type of thing, you know, where he was just so overbearing that the girls had to overcome not only the obstacles that they had placed before them because of society, but their dad was just so tough on them and rough and rugged that they somehow persevered through all the ridicule and criticism.
Yeah, and this one is more or less saying, yeah, the girls are cool with this. They're going along with it, sure. Like you don't really get to the heart of how they're feeling about this entire process, except for like continuing that mantra that Richard Williams had for them forever.
All right. I'm trying to place this where it is on my priority. Maybe watch this one with the kids to see like, hey, hard work pays off.
Yeah, because there is a few coaching moments that like, oh, there's a good idea or there's a good phrase. Like those things do happen. It's just, again, there's no struggle with those moments. It's just kind of like the girls are like, okay, it's got to be that way. Let's continue.
Just
and so then by that rationale, it's just like, yeah, but I know my kid's not going to listen that way. That's not how
That's
it works.
exactly it. Do you remember when we sat down and watched King Richard together? Why can't you be more like them? Be like, because you don't belong to a country club? Because you won't take us to one? Like, oh, yeah. We don't have any culture. We don't have any real social things to climb. You kinda, all right, well, fine. But didn't you hear that one motivational quote? Yeah, did you see the way the girls reacted? They weren't very motivated. They were just like, okay, good. So,
Yep, more practice. Got it, Dad.
Tell us about Boogie.
Boogie's great. Boogie is about this basketball player who wants to be the first like Asian American basketball player in the NBA. That is his focus. That is his goal. And so he is on one side looking at that and looking at all of his priorities on how to make that happen, with kind of sort of a deadbeat dad. And this is, a fun character who has a lot of pitfalls as a father, but yet is still hoping and trying for his son's dream, which is also his dream of the NBA. They are traditional, like, East Asian parents, and so we will get a lot of cultural differences between them, between the black players in the game as well, and pretty much all of the kind of desires that are coming his way, whether it is from college, whether it is from, like China, playing basketball in China, or anything else to that extent. And it's all focused on the idea of he's still in high school, and he went to one specific school, so then he could play against the guy who was considered the best in the district, and like prove himself to like elevate his stock to then get a full ride scholarship. And everything about the movie just feels good, I would say. Like, the messiness is proper in the sense of it's not like everything is not defined. You have to like kind of assume some of the traditional things that you might not understand about East Asia, but it feels authentic, and you believe in it as you're going through this journey. The basketball, most importantly, looks good, and it's a fun movie to watch.
What is this streaming on?
This is also HBO Max.
Okay.
And yeah, it just came out, just like a lot of small movies, kind of quietly at the movie theater, and then made its way to HBO Max. But yeah, it's that easy thing of, if you're looking for another basketball movie, because, there's not infinity out there, this falls into the category of absolutely, definitely one of the good ones.
I knew this movie sounded familiar, and I just looked it up while talking to you. Director Eddie Wang is the guy who created Fresh Off the Boat 2, based on his memoir, Fresh Off the Boat, the ABC sitcom that was on the year, based in the 90s, that had success. I know there was like a little bit of controversy there, because after, I think, a season or two, he was like, this is not the way the show's supposed to go. And he, I think, was asked to leave after that. Just didn't get along with producers, writers, or anything. But I know he's been on Bill Simmons multiple times. And I remember them talking about Boogie. So I know he does good work, and I know he knows what he's talking about. And when you said the basketball scenes, I remember him talking about how much it was important to him about making the basketball scenes so authentic. So definitely we'll check this out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Whenever you watch a sports movie where you're familiar with the sport, you spend your time, or at least I do, like staring at that dribble, staring at that release, and they're like, can it work? Is it a fun one? Like, will it actually play? And everything here stands out really well as far as just hoops go. And yeah, there's no sore thumb like Wesley Snipes, dribbling up by his head and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's what makes it fun, and white men can't jump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's street ball, though. It's different, though. Whatever.
A little bit, yeah.
Tell me about some other movies, and then let's talk about the best tennis movies that there ever were and the best basketball movies. Let's have a little conversation with Adrian, me, and you. Tell me about some other movies that you got your eye on.
As far as the tennis and basketball? Or
no, we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Stuff that's in theaters. We'll come back to the best tennis and basketball movies, yeah.
So in theaters right now, there's a movie called Encounter, which I like to go in fresh. So the thing that I knew about this movie was it was sci-fi, and it's directed by Michael Pierce. And Riz Ahmed is a father. He has 2 kids, and he's trying to protect them from an alien threat. And he's a former Marine. And I was just like, oh, great, I'm in. And not only that, you could tell by everything it was going to be a little bit more of either like thinking person sci-fi or drama or something else was attached to that.
Okay, can I hold on a second? Hold on. So you knew, because Encounter, I mean, automatically you're probably thinking, because you don't watch previews or anything. So
I don't watch previews. The poster that I saw was like a clear sci-fi image, and it looked like it was just going to be that thing of, oh, okay, I got it.
Encounter.
I know it. Yep.
You know it's a sci-fi. You figure that out. He's a father of 2. He's got to protect from aliens. He's a Marine, and I can't remember that. And you were just like, yeah, man, those are the things right there that get you going. You're like,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, and Octavia Spencer is in it.
Okay.
So then again, letting you believe, okay, it's not going to be like a fast-paced action movie where like she's also out there blasting aliens or anything else like that. So it's definitely not going to be that kind of thing. And so the thing about this movie is it is more intense and dramatic than I realized, and it's a hard sell. It's a hard turn where the movie takes you because, unfortunately, you realize you're watching or potentially watching a downer. And once that happens, once that shift occurs where you realize, oh my gosh, this is actually what we're dealing with, and we have to be concerned for like literally these two young kids. These it was that thing where it's like it wasn't like stressful fun, it just was a little stressful. And that kind of shift in a movie is such a delicate balance to turn, and I just didn't feel like this one nailed the turn and the follow through to where it's something that you could recommend, like, oh, you gotta watch this movie. This is such like an oddly specialized thing where you don't really know who you would recommend it to, even though you realize everything about the movie looks well, acted well, and an interesting idea that just didn't quite work.
Interesting idea that didn't quite work. Okay.
And that's the thing, to tell the turn and to talk about it kind of does give all of that away. So it's that weird thing where I'm like, yeah, be careful going into this movie. It's a little heavier than you realize. At the same point, I can't say what that is because then you're just going to be like, oh, okay, that's the make or break for me.
I like that.
So yeah.
And then what else you got for me?
I got the fun one, House of Gucci.
House of Gucci.
This is such an interesting, fun, kind of mess on purpose at times as far as the performances, specifically Al Pacino and Jared Leto. They're having way too much fun as part of the Gucci family. And like you don't know if you can enjoy it, laugh at it, laugh with it, but it's a good time. And this is also, I mean, the rest of the cast is insane as well. It's Adam Driver, Lady Gaga, who I am accepting and embracing as an actress, Jeremy Irons, and Jack Huston, Selma Hayek. But it's one of those movies that it's long. So if you're going to the movie theater, you're definitely going to feel like you're getting your money's worth. And it takes you through pretty much Patricia falling for and intertwining herself with the Gucci family, especially with Maurizio, who's played by Adam Driver. I was not aware. This is always the best with me. I was not aware of the real life Gucci drama that was happening in the mid '90s. So then this is a great way to fill in that historical gap as far as everything goes as well.
I see this movie is 2 hours and 38 minutes long, and you might have just taken up most of my night here now with this movie. What is your ideal movie time? How long do you think movies should be? What's the length you think they should be at?
Well, it's weird. It totally depends on like the subject, the idea. A perfect movie time in general is probably about an hour and 40 minutes. To me, an hour and 40 minutes means, okay, we got a story to tell. We're telling it nice and tight. Here you go. But anytime somebody like Ridley Scott, Tarantino, and a handful of others say, here's this 2.5 hour movie, I know like mentally that I'm prepared for something different and ready for that long haul. Like Paul Thomas Anderson, like other directors come to my mind where I'm just like, yep, I do not care about your running time because I'm just going to trust your process. But if it's a director I haven't fallen in love with, or an iffy track record, or more importantly, like an action movie or a horror movie, or anything like that, it just feels like, yeah, that hour and a half, hour 45, like find that, tell your story, get out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Are you looking forward to the Kurt Warner movie?
Does he look like Kurt Warner when he looks like Kurt Warner, or does he look like something else?
Who,
like,
Shazam?
Is that going to remove it for me?
Shazam? That who you're talking about?
Yeah, like whenever he's next to Kurt Warner, whenever they're promoting this movie, I'm just kind of like, that's what I'm going to look at during this movie. You don't look right. There's something off. But again,
he just doesn't look like a football player, really, in my opinion. He looks like he's like too soft. Like, he doesn't really belong in those pads.
yeah, there is something like that. He is. Yes, I agree. So I can't say that I'm necessarily looking forward to it, but I'm hopeful. I have hope.
How about Spider-Man? You looking forward to Spider-Man?
Absolutely looking forward to Spider-Man. And not only that, again, since I don't watch previews, I know that there's like supposedly 1 million people coming back, but I actually don't even know like all of the ones that are going to be back into this movie. So by that definition alone, I'm excited to see who pops in front of me on the screen. But yes, I'm excited for Spider-Man.
I'm excited to see if Spider-Man wins in the end. I don't know. It's crazy.
You think?
Yeah, listen. I'm all for going back to Kurt Warner. I'm all for this movie. It's a great story and everything else. I don't think it's going to be. I think this could have been a streamlined thing. I don't think it's going to do the greatest in the theaters, and I don't think Shazam's going to get a big. I don't think so. I don't think Shazam's going to get like any nods of anything coming up for any awards. So.
Yeah, no, I think it is going to be. A tiny little thing that will be kind of looked at and kind of thought of nice and then moved along. That's my hunch.
Gotcha. So we talked about King Richard. We talked about Boogie. And in the House of Gucci, by the way, it looks good. But that is a lot of time. But I want to go back to that because you mentioned something in the text, and I think it's a good idea because I don't know very many. Best tennis movies of all time? Do we have any nominees? Of all time?
Well,
King Richard.
Guess what?
Yeah, King Richard.
For me, King Richard's coming in at number 5, and I thought it was average as all heck. So, yeah, no, I was thinking about it, and I actually was able to get, because of King Richard, I was able to get 5 that, like, truly are, tennis movies. There's other films that have tennis in them, like Woody Allen's Match Point, but that is not a tennis film per se. There is a movie that's actually, it's streaming on Peacock. And if you are somebody who just like loves sports movies or loves the underdog story or actually just want to find more tennis movies, it's called Break Point. And it's this film that I saw, I want to say like 2014 at a film festival, and it pretty much just made the film festival rounds. And it got like good enough reviews, but it didn't get a theater run of anything. And then eventually, it's on streamer, so you can watch it on Peacock now. But it's two brothers who are like out of the tennis game, but get back in for one more match. And it's like doubles and lots of bantering between the brothers. Adam Devine, the comedic actor, is in the movie as well as J.K. Simmons and Amy Smart, and the brothers are played by Jeremy Sisto and David Walton, I think. And it's just one of those where it's like a nice surprise movie because, again, not many people will know it even existed. But otherwise, it's like Wimbledon. That's a good one. Paul Bettany, Kirsten Dunst. That's just a standard good movie.
Oh, come on.
And then it's good. And here's the thing. I'm saying good. I am not saying it is a great movie. We are finding tennis movies that are good. So I would say Wimbledon's like in a rom-com rated. Like if I'm strictly going rom-com, it's probably like a B minus as far as rom-coms go.
Well, hold on a second. There's some good points here, and Easer A's makes one, and now I want to bring it up. How much does it have to be based on tennis? Because we have the argument every year about is Die Hard a Christmas movie or whatever else, Rocky IV a Christmas movie. If Christmas is involved, it's a Christmas movie. How much tennis does there have to be? Because Royal Tenenbaums has tennis involved in it.
See, that's the thing. Okay, Wimbledon is about like you're talking about specific tennis ratings on these characters, and their entire movie is about their relationship and how it fits within the tennis world. So it is okay. It is acceptable. I said rom-com only because, like, to be honest, there should be more. Like, there should be plenty of like tennis movies that actually do use romantic comedy, just because of the term love Or like think about Mixed Doubles. There's your title right there. That's a romantic comedy. Mixed Doubles. There's weird couples doing weird things with the tennis game. But anyway, back to actual movies. Battle of the Sexes is very good.
Okay.
And it was kind of overlooked. Emma Stone, Steve Carell. It's the Bobby Riggs, Billie Jean King story. I thought that was great. And Sarah Silverman in a side role is also really good in that. But that, and then my favorite one is Borg versus McEnroe.
Yeah.
And the only issue with this movie, like sincerely only issue, is that it is impossible to see John McEnroe when you're looking at Shia LaBeouf. Like, and that is a huge problem, but it's a great, great tennis movie. It really is. You just don't really get that John McEnroe vibe from Shia LaBeouf in his performance, even though he's trying his best. And he does a good job. It's just, it doesn't vibe like John McEnroe, which is, to be honest, when we get to it in a couple weeks, there's a movie called Being the Ricardos where Nicole Kidman plays Lucille Ball. And I'll be saying something very similar when it's time to talk about that movie. But that movie, Borg versus McEnroe, is great. And then there's a bunch of like tennis documentaries. But
what about 7 Days in Hell?
I decided don't count. It's a short. It's like it's hilarious. It's the most entertaining tennis thing you can watch. But I want to say it's not even a half hour.
7 Days in Hell?
Isn't it?
No,
Isn't it really short?
That was that's what Lonely Island guys did. That's well over an hour, isn't it?
I thought it was shorter.
50 minutes. 50 minutes.
50. Okay.
Okay.
You were
I get you
closer
right.
than
I guess
I
you're
was, but if it's not an hour, I can't count it.
Okay. It's worth the watch.
It is definitely worth it. It is the most, out of everything we just said, 7 Days in Hell is the one tennis thing you should actually spend your time watching. Yes, I agree.
All right.
It's hilarious, everything.
Okay, moving past the number one basketball movie of all time because it's Hoosiers. What else is some of the best basketball movies?
Well, the number
Adrian, you got
two
any?
is Hoosiers.
Number one is Hoosiers and number two is Hoosiers?
No.
The director's cut? So
No.
number one
See,
is
that's the
Hoosiers
thing.
and the director's cut is two?
The nice thing is, if I ever see this director's cut, maybe Hoosiers can be back up in the number one spot. Oh, you're going to hate me when I say this movie, aren't you?
Absolutely.
I don't know yet. What do you think my number two is?
What's number one?
Or, I mean, sorry, yeah, my number one. He Got Game.
Oh, no, I love that movie.
That's a great movie.
That's my
okay.
number two. No, I love
okay.
that.
So we're fine. No,
Did I
He
ever
Got
tell you-
Game is amazing. What?
About how great Dr. Tom is in that movie? Dr. Tom Davis?
Oh, oh yeah. Oh, my gosh. I got to meet Dr. Tom Davis on the basketball court when I was a little kid doing a camp there. It was great because I was the same height as him when I met him, and I think I was in middle school at the time.
Let me
So
tell
that
you.
made me feel good.
Let me tell you a small story about Dr. Tom Davis, someone that you may know and that I know, and about He Got Game. So sometimes on the show we have Mike Martin on here from Hidden Hills Golf Course. You know his older brother Dave Martin, Jeff.
And yes, yeah, absolutely.
Mike played basketball and tennis at Simpson College. They had Dr. Tom Davis come in to talk to like the athletic department, all the athletes in there, and kind of give speeches, and then they did a Q&A. So you get done with it, and they're raising their hands, and he's like, yeah, and he calls on Mike Martin. This is a true story. And Mike takes a deep breath, and he says to Dr. Tom Davis, how did you prepare for your role in He Got Game? And Dr. Tom Davis just said, I just said Jesus, like I would normally say it. Jesus. And he goes, thank you very much, and sat down. That was his question. It's so great. And Dr. Tom took it seriously and told him, because that's all he says, and he just says Jesus during the thing. No, I love He Got Game. It is a very long one as well, but I love that movie.
It is. And I love the story of when that final battle between Jesus and his dad, played by Denzel Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So the story supposedly goes that it was supposed to be Jesus scoring every basket, his dad not getting one single one.
Yeah.
And Denzel saw that, and Denzel decided, nope, that's not going to happen. And he started scoring the opening buckets. And if you look at the movie, you can see Jesus kind of looking off to the side, like looking confused. And supposedly he's looking at Spike Lee to yell cut. and like, you know, make sure that this isn't happening. And Spike just sits there. And so then they just keep playing, and then you eventually see, you know, him take over.
Yeah,
I love that
Ray
story.
tightens up the defense a little bit too after that. Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Ray. I'm giving that. I do love the movie. Coming from a wrestler, that's weird. But yeah, so I'm fine with 2. Adrian, do you have any that you want to throw in the top 2?
Oh no, those are pretty much. Yeah, you know, you gotta love White Man Can't Jump. You know? Like I gotta have that in my top.
That's my number 3.
I would agree with that.
That's my number 3. And then I'd say because of my youth, I'm going Teen Wolf because of how many times I watched it, and like I decided that really mattered to me as a kid. That movie.
There's a lot of things about that movie that are good and worth watching again. There's one huge flaw.
Is it the ability to play basketball on like anyone in the film?
Okay, that's a big one too. The basketball scenes are a little bit. No, the
What's your
flaw
big
is
flaw with that movie?
the big flaw. I believe his name's Vic, the bad guy. When he's shooting the free throws, he's allowed to stand underneath the basket and stare at him while he's shooting the free throws. Like never in the history has that ever happened to anyone. But the other scene, that there's a lot of good scenes in there, and there's a lot of things if you're around the right people and you're like, give me a keg of beer, they know what you're talking about. But if you ever catch me saying something and I end with stick to that and everything will be cream cheese, I'm quoting the coach. And his three rules to live by.
I'm just going to use that line on you.
Yeah, it's so good. Never play poker with a man named after a city. Never date a girl with a tattooed dagger on her arm. Never get less than 8 hours sleep. 12 hours. It's 12 or it's 10 hours sleep. Never get less than 10 hours sleep. Stick to that. Your life will be cream cheese. It's great. Coach gets it as he's eating a bucket of KFC too.
You have a great memory for that.
Well, yeah.
Number 5 on my list, High Flying Bird.
Huh?
There we go. That's what I was kind of hoping for. It's a 2019 film, and it goes through basketball player in a strike season trying to figure out what to do about his contract, who, like, in his sense of who owns him, who doesn't. It's directed by Steven Soderbergh. Great director. Tight film, and halfway through the movie, there's a twist. And so this really gets into like inside NBA stuff. Even the movie actually has some players like Donovan Mitchell, Karl Anthony Towns giving like interviews in the movie, like it would be a like fake documentary kind of thing, but they're playing themselves and they're talking about like what it is like life in the NBA. And so this is really great insider baseball kind of information, like with the agents and stuff like that. But there's also some, good basketball in it. And it's a really cool movie that, again, just kind of flew under that radar and totally worth checking out.
Hoop Dreams?
Documentary. I decided documentaries would just get, but like, yes. And the one problem with Hoop Dreams is that running time. I think it's 17 hours, but I could be off.
That's not bad. That's not a bad guess.
There is, in this research, I was shocked. So there's a movie called Wolves that is a basketball movie that is a few years old that I've never heard of, starring Michael Shannon, which it feels like I would have heard about that movie, so I have to check that out. And then I was amazed by this. There is a movie called Tall Story from 1960, starring Anthony Perkins, who's from Psycho, and Jane Fonda.
Oh, God.
And it's Jane Fonda's first film. And the trailer for this movie is amazing. I've only watched the trailer so far, and I decided it'd be cool since, 1960. But the movie itself is like, it's set at this college, and somebody asked Jane Fonda's character, like, why did you choose this college? And she's like, well, I'm tall. And it's like, yeah. And she's like, well, there's really good tall basketball players here, so I'm here to pick one. And it's just like, that's the idea of the movie, and then supposedly it's a romantic comedy with basketball in it. So I'm going to be all in at some point with that movie. We'll see.
There was some executive somewhere that was like, and now let's form the ABC, The Bachelorette, based on someone.
Yes.
Just bring in all these people who are tall, because this lady's tall. Like, all right, we're just gonna have
Basketball
26
wives?
seasons of this. Yeah, basketball wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez, I'm
40
tall.
years before basketball was. Like, we had this. Who knew?
The blue chips mentioned in this on the Heritage Pub Facebook comment thread. 11 basketball. I've never seen that. Never seen blue chips either.
My problem with Blue Chips is it's a downer of a movie. Like it was created to kind of like get us all excited about an amazing basketball movie with all of these known stars in it. And then the movie itself is just talking about the downfalls. And it does it, in my opinion, without being able to also then find the love of the game. Like, yes, Nick Nolte has a moment at the end of like his personal path through and how he's going to heal through the power of sport. But otherwise, it feels kind of like, it feels like the program, but not as fun. That's what Blue Chips feels to me whenever I sit through it. And it is that thing where it's like I've sat through it a few times because I feel like, oh, maybe this time it'll be fun because all the annoying parts will have worn off because I'll know those beats. And it just hasn't happened enough for me.
Mm-hmm. What did we think about Glory Road?
Glory Road, Coach Carter, Above the Rim, all of these movies are like, yeah, not bad. Not bad. That's I feel like they're just in that lump of that's not a bad sports movie. Sure, I would sit through it, but I can't necessarily tell you it's like one of the best ones ever.
Yeah, let's see. We just mentioned 11 basketball. That, yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
That Wolves basketball movie does look interesting now that I'm reading about it.
I know.
Why have I not heard about this before?
Yeah.
Yeah, Space Jam. They know the way I feel about that. Mikey Hart wrote that. Not a fan. Not a fan of number 2 either.
Joanna Man.
Joanna Man, no. Eddie was another one, no. Like Mike, another one, no.
Celtic Pride.
Yep.
Celtic Pride, that was a banger. And
I remember being excited about Celtic Pride. That's how foolish I was in my youth.
I remember I being excited about Celtic Pride too. I remember being excited about the Great White Hype too.
Basketball.
I did a fan of that. The Sixth Man, I saw that in actual theaters.
The Sixth Man, I forgot about that.
Jeez,
movie.
There's a lot out there.
It is crazy how quickly, like, just you almost pick any like tiny little side sports category, and it is crazy how quickly it drops off from like something you can consider great or at least accept somebody else considering great compared to, no, that's not a bad movie.
Above the Rim. I think I've heard of that movie, but I've never seen it.
It's a Tupac. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
not bad. Basketball Diaries. Not really, again, totally about basketball, but, basketball's in there. Mark Wahlberg supposedly could hoop.
Oh, I like Basketball Diaries. It was a little dark the first time I watched it. That second time I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
Has anybody seen these Uncle Drew movies?
That was a commercial. Then they ended up making a movie out of it. Yeah, it started as a commercial.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
right.
Grandmama or whatever else. Brad on the Heritage Club Facebook commented, because I'm sure they play basketball at one point, he puts in Enter the Dragon. But if any time you want to break it down Enter the Dragon, Jeff, we can do that, because that is a karate movie that everyone should see.
Well, I don't know. Are we saying it's a basketball movie now or no?
Oh, no, not the Enter the Dragon. Sorry, The Last Dragon. That's a karate movie everyone needs to see. I know everyone probably likes it. The Last Dragon's fantastic. Yeah.
Last Dragon's amazing.
Show enough. All right, Jeff, tell everyone where they can follow you at on social media or and anything that you're working on right now also.
Sure. Just on Twitter, I'm at Bayer Jeff. It's my last name, like the aspirin and Jeff. And then also on Instagram, and that's about it right now. I'll dip my toes in other things later. But yeah, that's all I got going on.
Portland Trailblazers are in some trouble right now. They got to get it together.
I just took my 9-year-old son, to his first Portland Trailblazers game last night. I'm ready for them to blow it up. They actually sat for his first game. He was okay with it, but they sat Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum. So it was one of those things of like, oh, that's a rough first game for you, kid.
Yeah.
But, I am ready for movement there. I'm ready for we'd have to get a lot of things to get rid of Damian Lillard. That's how the city feels in general. But anything else is ready to be moved, I would say, just for a change.
Right on, my man. Thank you so much for your time, but we got to take a break. It's always fun catching up with you. And we'll look.
Right,
I'll definitely
good.
check out Boogie and maybe House of Gucci at home or something. I can't
It's
see
gonna be a long time.
Yeah, but Boogie's I'm definitely in for. All right, buddy. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Talk to you
Take
later.
care. Yep. Bye.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch
Jeff,
Boogie or House of Gucci. Is it
Gucci?
House of Gucci. I'm picking one of those two tonight.
Boogie. Watch Boogie. Yeah, I'm telling you, anything that Eddie Wang's doing, you're gonna like. He's legit. He's good. So and like I said, I listened to him on Simmons' show, and he's gonna do well. So, all right, we'll be right back. ESPN Quad Cities. Don't hassle us. We're local.
The Rock says he's going to make your Rudy Poo candy ass famous.
You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
Hi, this is Derek.
And this is Skip. We are the twins from
Arbar
Davenport.
And you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
On ESPN 1170 AM.
Over the past few years, people in the Quad Cities have been buying online more and more. Now, since the pandemic hit, online sales have absolutely skyrocketed. Having an online presence was important before, but now it's an outright necessity. But don't worry, MyLocalCustomers.com is here to help. All you need to do is go to MyLocalCustomers.com to receive a free competitive analysis to see what Town Square Media can do for you. We'll help you find more local customers online and help grow your business faster. Town Square offers premium website services that get you new leads every day, plus a dedicated marketing specialist who will work with you the whole time, so you don't have to mess with updating a website. It's fast and easy with no contracts, so you can cancel at any time. Be one of the first to sign up and receive $500 in free advertising on ESPN 1170 AM. As a business owner, you know how hard it is to get people to cross a bridge to get to your business. These days, they don't need to. Find your customers and keep your customers. Go to MyLocalCustomers.com.
The People's Choice Awards, hosted by Keenan Thompson, is the only award show chosen by you, the people. So let Keenan hear you.
With nominees in every category.
TV,
movies,
music, pop culture,
and performances from your favorite artists.
Christina Aguilera,
Blake Shelton.
some cool surprises,
Plus huge icon award winners.
Halle Berry,
Dwayne Johnson,
Kim Kardashian West,
and more.
Hosted by me, Keenan Thompson. The People's Choice Awards, live tonight on NBC and E. And the red carpet starts first, live from E.
Why is this oven still going? Hi, this is Dinesh.
Dinesh's Bakery just landed a sweet catering contract.
40 dozen fritters? Friday at 5 a.m.?
He needs an event planner to help him rise to the occasion.
Oh, every Friday at 5 a.m. Not a problem.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You know you need new work boots. Turn your car now towards Holmes Shoes in Moline. Your local shoe store since 1887 knows industrial work boots. Comfort, style, and protection for every job site. Shop over 18 favorite boot brands like Timberland, Carolina, Reebok, Wolverine, and more, made for the toughest jobs. Starting as low as $59.99. Holmes Shoes has steel, composite, alloy toe boots, and Metguard options too. Shop locally online at Holmes.shoes, 1614 Fifth Avenue in Moline today.
With the calendar turning to December, we're moving inside the Carver Center and the brand new Ann Grieve Lund Natatorium. Entertaining small college action with Augustana College basketball, swimming and diving, men's volleyball, men's and women's wrestling, and women's water polo. New sports and facilities worth the trip to the Augustana College campus. Catch the Viking spirit by checking complete athletic team schedules at augustana.edu. Augustana College, family-friendly, front row seat to big-time small college sports.
I'm Omar Reese with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Monday Night Football, Patriots, Bills. It was cold. It was snowy. It was windy. And the Patriots leaned heavily on their ground game to the tune of 222 yards. Damian Harris scoring a 64-yard touchdown. Mac Jones attempted just 3 passes as the Patriots beat the Bills 14-10. New England, winners of 7 straight, now 6-0 on the road this season and in first place in the AFC. Elsewhere, the Ravens will be without Marlon Humphrey for the rest of the season. The Pro Bowl corner diagnosed with a pectoral tear. Humphrey, the 7th starter to be sidelined for the season for Baltimore, who cling to first place in the AFC North by 1 game. And Keenan Allen was placed on the reserve COVID list, putting his availability for Sunday's game versus the Giants in doubt. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Velvety paper feel, exquisite colors, stunning scale. At Staples, we sweat the details and quality of every print project. Stop by Staples and try our Print Big Promise. We're committed to getting your print job right, to treating your small business like a big deal, and guiding you from start to finish. Get 20% off signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more. Offer ends January 1st. Visit staples.com/services/printing for details. Staples, where small business prints big.
Is your prostate waking you up more often than your alarm clock? The fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function and reduced urinary urges for a better quality of life. Available at Walmart. Visit prostateoneperday.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
From the Vegas Gaming Cafe, this is the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 104.1 FM, 1170 AM, KBOB Davenport, K281DB Davenport.
Back on the air, 1:30 in the afternoon, Tuesday, December 7th on ESPN Quad Cities. Someone did called in and told us there were 2 more movies that we forgot to talk about. Fast Break. I believe that's the one with the guy who plays Gabe Cotter and Welcome Back Cotter or whatever else. And then The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh. That's actually one of T-Roy's favorite movies. Something I have, like during the quarantine, I was like, I got to watch this movie. And I never got into watching that movie.
The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh?
Yeah, people love that movie.
Oh.
I don't know too much about it, but yeah. Huh. Anyway, we were just discussing some things with Jeff, discussing some movies to watch. Boogie will be the one that I gotta put on my to-watch list. I got a lot of other things going on, though, to watch, too. So
Succession.
Almost caught up, finally.
Almost caught up?
Yeah, last episode that premiered last Sunday. So I'm just not a binge watcher, though. I'm not good at it. I can maybe last an episode, probably like halfway through the second episode, I usually start doing something. Yeah. And then I have to come back, and then a lot of times I'll just put it on, maybe fall asleep at night, and then I don't know where to start.
That's why I don't want to do that Gucci one tonight. I feel like tonight's going to be an early night for me, and so I'm
going to have to dedicate like 3 hours of my time in the movie theater, and I don't think I have that in me. But definitely I can do Boogie on HBO Max. I'm not going to do King Richard. I'm sorry. Tennis just doesn't do it for me.
And Will Smith just hasn't done it for me in a
He
long
does
time.
not do it for me either. When
It's
they
just
the
Men in
last
Black, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. Like, when was the last one that you, like, Independence Day, you're like, yeah.
This guy's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Men in Black, you're like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And then, like, there was a Wild Wild West, and I'm like, no. Now you're just making movies so you can make songs to it. And he had a rap song to it and everything.
What was the one where he was, like, the superhero?
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I don't know.
He couldn't be beat, and then he was a drunk. And
yeah, I didn't make it through that one.
I forgot what that was called.
I thought Hitch was okay.
Oh, Hitch wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Is there anything else after, like, unfortunately, we're dating myself, like, there's nothing.
What was it, Road to...
What are you going to say, to perdition? That's not it.
No, what...
We didn't, what
was the one where he's like the father and he can't catch a break?
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Neither did I.
Like, I just
no
don't,
idea.
I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, yeah, I haven't even seen Ali.
Nope.
He won an Oscar for that, right?
No, never saw it.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
You haven't seen Ali.
I haven't seen Ali.
That shocks me.
I've seen the best boxing movie. I don't need to.
That's right.
Even if it's not completely real, based on real events that happened. But yeah, thanks to Jeff for calling in. And Thanks for the guy who called in and give us those things to look at.
Oh, Bad Boys. I've watched Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2.
Yeah,
I
Bad
like
Boys
that. I
wasn't
like
bad.
that, yeah.
2, all right. I didn't see the Bad Boys for Life or whatever else. I didn't watch that one. I didn't see that. The latest
Pursuit
one.
of Happiness.
I did not watch that.
No, that's what I didn't watch.
No, that was me.
Oh, okay, I guess I've seen I Am Legend. I like that.
I did not see that.
like
I was
that.
pursuing other movies instead of the Pursuit of Happiness. I was in pursuit of. That was my only happiness was not watching that movie.
Enemy of the State wasn't bad.
I think I did that. Gene Hackman's in that. Throw Gene Hackman in there. I'm involved.
Yeah, you put Gene Hackman into something, you got to watch it.
I never understand how he didn't win its Best Supporting Actor for the Royal Tenenbaums. I thought he was amazing in that. I love that movie. Well, let's. I don't even know if you're ready. If I even warned you for this.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
Tuesday.
I saw you marking some things down over
So
there.
you got in on it?
Yeah.
You're like, all right, gotta do it. Well, it's Tuesday. Time for Power Rankings. Take a look at what ESPN has in their group of 80 people that they look at. Editors and all that other stuff and people that write, and they come up with their rankings, and we do our own. So ESPN does their Power Rankings every Tuesday, so do we. Their Power Panel is a group of more than 80 writers, editors, and TV personalities. Our panel is each of our own, but we're on 2 different radio stations, so we got that going for us.
Some would say our power rankings are better.
I would say that.
Or superior.
I would say majority of the people would. According to our Locals Love Us guide, a lot of people think that we are. We do have them. All right. At number 1, Adrian?
I have the Arizona Cardinals.
I have the Arizona Cardinals.
Just setting the tone. That team's getting healthy at the right time again.
Yeah, just take time.
Setting the pace. Best team in the NFL.
Colt McCoy, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Get Kyler Murray in there when you need him, then.
No more Cliff Kingsbury to college team talk.
No.
That's over.
Yeah, you sure Oregon's not calling
that's
this,
just dumb.
doing that rumor?
No, that doesn't exist. Cool uniforms out there.
Huh?
You get cool uniforms out there.
You do, though, yeah. All right. ESPN has Arizona at number 1 also.
Okay.
And number 2?
Who do you have, Jay?
The Green Bay Packers.
All right. I can see that argument.
It seems like anytime I'm like, this and that, they answer. Anytime I come up with any type of way to critique them, they have the answers. And I know they're sitting at 9-3 or whatever else, and there's some teams that might look a little better, but right now, I agree with them, and ESPN's got it as well. Who do you have it to?
Tampa.
Okay.
Tampa's sitting right there. I think the team overall is better. I think that the quarterback play obviously slides to Aaron Rodgers. I just think that team overall is better than what the Green Bay Packers have shown me.
Okay. Is there any chance at all you're looking at Brashad Perriman to pick up now that he's been pulled up to the practice squad for Tampa Bay? Because Antonio Brown's out for 2 more weeks.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. I just didn't know if you had any interest in that.
It just makes it harder to play. I mean, there's no reason. You're getting too late. You don't want to be looking at flyers. You need people getting targets already.
He lined up for, he played 83.3% of the offensive snaps against the Falcons on Sunday. So that'd be more of him resurrecting his career. All right, at 2, you had them at 2?
Yep.
Okay, they have the Green Bay Packers also.
Okay.
So at number 3, I have the New England Patriots. That's just it. I mean, come on, who cares? Like, it's just like every week you're just like, this is insane. And the whole thing and I know we're repeating ourselves from last week, but the free agent spending to the beginning of the season where you're like, didn't look like it was all worth that money, and now the way that they're playing, it's great. And then only giving up 10 points to I know the weather plays an option, but I mean their defense is good.
Yeah.
So I had the New England Patriots at 3. The ESPN has the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 3, and who do you have at 3?
I have Green Bay.
Okay.
Yeah. My really thing is, and New England's right next. They're my number 4. We'll just put that out there.
Tampa Bay is my number 4.
And so I just think that last night I will say, New England won that game. They won that game with a game plan. Did it seem like there was no trust a little bit with Mac Jones? Just a little bit?
No.
Not no trust, but you're 3rd and 12. You can't throw a slant or bubble pass or a screen pass or anything possible. That's why I have those 3 teams ahead of New England, because I feel like those 3 teams trust their quarterback to go out and win a game more than what the Tampa Bay or more than what New England does.
That is a complete and utter trusting relationship where the coach says, "Trust me, kid. We're going to go places. When we need you, you are going to come through."
Okay.
Maybe it's a thing. I'm sure that's the talk.
Not one pass.
Maybe they didn't look at it.
The fourth pass, fifth pass, you can't throw the ball 7 times.
The dude had a tweet.
You won
like,
the game. I can't.
The guy had a tweet like 2 or 3 years ago that Mac Jones had said, "I've never seen snow before." So, and he played down in Alabama. It's not like he was dealing with a lot of elements there. Maybe they're just like,
I didn't know that.
"You haven't had the elements before," type of thing.
Yeah.
So it is.
Okay. Yeah. In January, you know what it does in New England in January?
What?
You know what it does in New England in January?
Huh.
In the playoffs? It snows. If
Yeah,
it snowed again
yeah.
in January, you're not trusting your quarterback
Mm-hmm.
to go out there and win you a game. Just a little take. I don't know.
Let's see. They have the Patriots at 4.
They have the Buccaneers at 4, right?
I have the Buccaneers at 4. They have the Patriots at 4.
Oh, yeah, they nailed it then. Yeah, we're right.
And they nailed it, yeah.
Right there. This is where things really get interesting in the power rankings. I feel like everybody's power rankings get interesting right here because, it's just a handful of teams that rotate around with each other every week now.
Yeah. I am at 5, the same team that ESPN has at 5. I have the Kansas City Chiefs.
And we are all sitting in the exact same boat. And my number, and this is the first week, I think, and I've written them down. This is the first week now that my 1 through 5 hasn't changed in a while.
Okay.
It's the exact same as what it was last week.
And then my 6 and through, whatever, they're all over the map.
Yeah. Who you got as your 6?
I think I got them too high, but the other teams, it's more that I don't have as much faith in them or whatever else. And there's answers, there's questions. Is Dak worth it? Is what's going on with Ezekiel Elliott?
Okay.
Is Pollard better than Elliott? But I had the Dallas Cowboys at 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went with the Los Angeles Rams.
Okay. All right.
I ganked both those teams the same thing. Questions all the way around the thing. Odell Beckham kind of touched on this weekend.
Oh, good. Yeah. That reminds me. Yeah. Now that I mention it, I've got to make a change on mine. Because I like where your head's at. So you have the Rams at 6.
Uh-huh.
All right. They have the Baltimore Ravens.
That's too high after a loss.
Yeah, that's what I said too. I think it's giving too much respect to the AFC North. So that's what they have at 6. At 7, I have the Rams. And I actually moved them because of basically kind of what you said. And they're getting there, but are they getting there is going to be my question. They're winning some games, but they've got big games coming up here now. So that'll be a lot to them. So that's at 7.
Yep.
Who do you have at 7?
Dallas.
Okay.
Same things. Are we right in the ship? Are we wrong in the ship? What's going on here?
Yeah, and they have Dallas as well. Mm-hmm. And it is interesting because this week, every once in a while, they'll have certain things in here, and in the ESPN, they'll have players who must step up for the team to, be better. And they do have Dak Prescott on there, and I think that's fair. Majority of the time, it's quarterback, so it's not too much out there on a limb.
Watch out this week. Cowboys going over to Washington to play some football.
Yeah.
Washington's hungry. They want that game.
Number 8. See, it gets all goofy from here on out.
Yeah.
I gave it to the Ravens. It's because, that's a hard game to win. I know it's giving too much credit to the AFC North, but that record of how they play each other in those close games, they're going to have another one. There's no way you know which way it's going with the Browns, but right now I'll give the Ravens an 8, but it's not going to be there long, especially if they don't win. They're going to plummet very far if they don't win, but I gave them an 8 there.
I'm sitting right here with the team that was on a bye this week. I'm hoping maybe they can possibly write some sort of a ship, maybe find a running game. The Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I have them much further down.
Yeah, I just can't give up on them completely yet. I feel like the defense is going to see better days ahead. I get Derrick Henry. He's a beast, monster. But the offensive line has to have something to do with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't nobody else finding success behind there? They tried Adrian Peterson. Somebody's got to get some success behind that line. Hopefully Julio Jones coming back will help him out a little bit. Maybe be a difference maker for the last half of the season. And never bad when you're playing the Jaguars this week to feel good about yourselves.
There you go. Yeah, start to how to right your ship. At 8, they have the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
At 9, I have the Bills. I don't know why.
The Bills didn't make my top 10.
I wish I didn't have put him. I wish I wouldn't have put him in the top 10.
And I understand why they're in the top 10. It's like, who else can you put there? What kind of arguments can you make for other people?
Mm-hmm.
At 9, I went with a team that needed a big win. The Los Angeles Chargers. That team came out and just kind of shoved it to the Bengals a little bit. When they score a lot of points. Like, every game, 27, 25, 27, 41, 47, 28, 30. The team can score. If they can figure out a way, a couple losses, 113, 1-6, and they got destroyed by, the Ravens. But not a bad time to start getting hot with your offense.
Who's that again?
The Chargers.
Okay, I have them at 10. So I'm right there with you. That's what I thought. I was making sure to double check, see how goofy I got with some of these rankings. But, yeah, I have them at 10 as well. They have the Tennessee Titans at 10. So not too far off from where you are. Mm-hmm. At 11.
Oh, at 10 I have Indy.
Okay, sorry. I'm jumping ahead.
You're good.
Yeah. Where were we just at? Oh, 9. Sorry.
Who they have at 9?
At 9, they had Los Angeles Rams. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, they had the Los Angeles Rams. And then at 10, your 10, you have Indy?
Yep.
They have the Tennessee Titans. Sorry, I'm jumping up. And like I said, I have the
Chargers.
Colts. Yeah, Chargers. Yeah, Chargers, yeah. I'm all over the place. Yeah, Chargers. At 11, I have the same thing as the ESPN rankings. I have the Yep, you. What about you?
This is where I inserted Buffalo.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one to have there.
They just keep falling in my list.
Yeah, I know. Them and the Ravens are going to fall out here soon. They keep this up. And, Buffalo's got a tough schedule moving forward. 12, I have the Tennessee Titans. They have the Indianapolis Colts. You have the
Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, that's right. You said it all the way down to 12.
Like
okay.
I said, these teams are just a handful of teams that you can just insert here.
Okay. Now, 13, I have the Colts.
And at 13, that's where I fill in Cincinnati.
And this is where they have the Chargers. So pretty much...
Right in there, we all have the exact same teams.
14, I didn't get too cute, but cute enough. The Washington football team.
That's cute. I like it.
They got to be doing something, right?
Yeah.
They've been playing well. They've beaten Tampa Bay. They just went on the road and beat the Raiders. It's an interesting one this week against the Cowboys. So I took them at 14. Who do you have?
Miami.
Okay.
Playing hot.
That's right.
Yeah. Seem to figure something out here.
5 in a row. They're 1-7.
Yep.
At 14, they have the San Francisco 49ers. Garoppolo's playing like crap.
Yeah.
They don't have
Debo.
That's too high to put them up there.
Yeah, that team's not going to be any good here in a couple weeks.
At 15, I have the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
And again, 5 in a row. Not looking too shabby. Who do you have?
Philly.
Okay.
Another team winning with their backup quarterback.
Yeah. At 15, they have the Steelers. I think that's too high.
Yeah.
And at 16, that's where I have the Philadelphia because I gotta stick with the team that we were riding with. And Minshew. And then did you read that quote? If he didn't say it, I don't care. If he got it from somewhere else, I don't care. If he really said it, or if someone made some meme him or whatever else. But it said
the number 2.
No, Minshew. He's what he said. He's like, yeah, because they were like talking about like, you're back up, and a lot of teams, you're Jacksonville. A lot of teams didn't want to trade for you. He goes, yeah. Well, a lot of people told Vincent Van Gogh, you can't paint. You're not going to ever be a good painter. You only got one ear. And Vincent Van Gogh said, oh yeah, I can't hear you. What? I guess it's like a way to be like, I don't listen to the critics or whatever else, but I don't think I've ever heard that before. That anyway, did you see a video of him and his dad afterwards?
I tell you, I missed that. Yeah.
They're like in the
when him and his dad, yes.
Where they just keep fist bumping each other and then chest bumping each other and then like tackling each other and then doing it over again like 3 times.
I was like, this is how he gets hurt. And then he's not playing football.
And you think it's like one of those social media boomerang things that they're just doing over and over again, but they just keep doing it. Like they're just two frat brothers who haven't seen each other.
Pumped up, man.
Yeah.
The Minshews get going.
He's so excited. There's nothing wrong with the guy. I mean, came out of Washington State, could chuck the ball all over, just a little bit goofy. I liked him. I liked him last year. I didn't know if anything Philadelphia, but I was talking to a Steelers fan last night. And I was like, who's it going to be next year? Aaron Rodgers or Gardner Minshew? And he's like, don't start with me with that. And he's like, what about Russell Wilson? I'm like, that's not a bad call. Yeah. But I'm telling you, why not Gardner Minshew? He's like, just don't. I'm like, what? It's not Duck Hodges, not Mason Rudolph. Come on, it's got to be something like that. I don't have a problem with the dude. Just let him get out there and air it out. And, I'm sure there's Philadelphia fans that are thinking that Jalen Hurts held him back earlier in the season before they got a run going.
What was the Jalen Hurts? Why wasn't he playing? You have him on your fantasy team?
No, I didn't pay. I think it's a shoulder.
Oh, he's a shoulder?
Yeah, I have him. I traded for him when I needed to, but I ended up starting who's the other guy? I think I had Patrick Mahomes in that one too, so it was a matter of I might as well just stick with, don't get cute with it. Well, obviously he wasn't starting, but I just keep him as a backup. Speaking of, I haven't even looked to see how things went last week in how my fantasy. How's your fantasy team going?
It looks like I'm gonna make 3 playoffs out of 5 leagues. I can't be mad about that. One of the leagues was like a $10 league too, so that's one of the leagues I'm not in the playoffs. So,
well, one of them
I'm hoping to finally win my own league, so that'd be nice. 1 year, that's all I want. Been running it for 4 years now. Just can't seem to get there. Yeah, I've gotten third twice, second once.
Let's see. Ooh. So the playoffs are starting.
Not this week, but next.
Okay. Got some work to do here. Really? All right. Let's see here. So my playoffs don't start till week 15.
Yeah, this is not this week, but next.
Because we're at 14. Okay, gotcha. So I'm struggling here. I got to get after it. I'm not in the one where I think I can make some moves. I've got to win. That's just basically it.
If you're sitting here on the waiver wires this week and you're pretty much locked up your playoff spot, start preparing for the next couple weeks. Look at whose defense is playing who and who's available in your leagues and what kind of kicker is going to be out there and if they're playing a tough team. And, this is a time where I like to have kickers that are only kicking in indoor stadiums, where they're starting to get worse. A couple points here or there, those kickers can make a difference.
Absolutely.
Come playoff time.
I just cannot afford any mistakes this week. I can tell you that much. So I've got some things I'm working on here to make sure I get into that one. I think I'm going to make playoffs only in 2 out of the 4. I think. So, yeah,
not bad.
Yeah, it's all right. I should be better. All right, that's going to do it for today. We will be back tomorrow. Thanks to Jeff for calling. Adrian, always a pleasure. Thank you for being in here. Enjoy yourselves, Quad City. Stay safe and sanitize. We will talk to you tomorrow. Good luck today. Good luck every day. ESPN 1170 AM, ESPN 11, ESPN 104.1 FM, ESPN Quad Cities. Take care, Quad Cities.
Hey, this is Dorf with Dancing with the QC Stars. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Hey, do you have time to go to Vegas with me?
Time? Yes. Extra money to pay for the flights? No.
No, not Vegas. I'm talking about Vegas, right here in the Quad Cities.
I've never heard about Vegas. Tell me more.
Oh, they're safe and secure gaming cafes with 6 locations.
Well, what kind of games do they have there? And they've got beer, right?
They have the latest games provided by Gem. And yes, beer.
Sounds like I'm going to save on flights
have fun, and win big.
To find out more about their locations and hours they're open, visit VegasGamingCafeIL.com.
Running on empty? Don't let aging drain your body. Limitless Male can help you recharge safely under medical care. As you age, your body produces less testosterone, which can cause one or more symptoms: trouble sleeping, no energy, loss